Welcome to Synthaholics. This is your host, David Duncan, and with me is...
Brian, I'm here too. Hello, David. Today, we're going to tell, for the audio listeners, you can't see, but today we're going to tell spooky stories.
Spooky story. Oh,
Or spooky stories.
Brian's got a flashlight going on. I guess
That was my one joke. I prepared in advance. Thank you for enjoying.
Oh, nice. You don't prepare jokes in advance. I usually don't. The one time I did was back when we had Michelle Specht on for talking about The Offspring, a TNG episode where Data builds his daughter. And I was like, when his daughter dies, I was like, did you try turning it on and turning it off again?
You had that prepared?
I prepared that, I knew I was going to say it days in advance. And
okay, that joke that I just made was only prepared about a minute in advance.
Well, that's how I usually roll. I prepare things on my own. But, so this week we're going into the very fictional Cocaine Bear, even though...
No, it was based on a true story.
It's based on a true story, but 99% of the movie is made up.
What?
But before that, there's a little bit of news going on. So we've got more news from ye olde Middle Earth. Apparently, Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema really, really want to make some more Lord of the Rings movies. And Brian's got a lot to say about that.
If they're all going to be bad. But they're doing the same thing with video games. They have 5 video games in development right now that are going to be released by next year this time. 5. They're based on Lord of the Rings. We're getting the Lord of the Rings extended universe. It's happening. They're going to give it the Star Wars treatment, the MCU treatment, and it's going to be ruined. This is how, if I ever have kids one day, I'm going to not let them watch any Middle-earth content. They can only watch the first 3 movies.
The original
and then
Peter Jackson.
That's it.
What about the old animated films? Like the really, really old ones from the 70s. What about those?
Sure. Yeah, we could throw those in there too. Those are good. But then you get to pick. If you watch the Hobbit animated movie from the 70s or whenever that came out, you can't watch the Hobbit from 2012.
Oh, that's preferable because the original animated one is a much better film.
Those are also bad.
I don't know. I'm not excited per se for these new Lord of the Rings films. There is a chance they could be really bad, but I don't think it's possible to hit more rock bottom than Rings of Power. And if it sounds like they're in talks with Peter Jackson and Fran Welsh and the creative team behind the original Lord of the Rings films. So I think it would be fantastic if Peter Jackson, since they told him they would, work with him on Rings of Power, then they ghosted him. I think it would be marvelous if they decide to make movies that are set in the Second Age and they do, the Second Age right, with the lore right. I mean, it's the Second Age. You still have to make up a ton of stuff. But as long as you get the lore right and hit the major beats of the story, all that stuff in between you can make up.
So basically what you're saying is, if they do exactly what I want, it should be good, right?
Well, if they do, the bare minimum to adhere to Tolkien, it should be good.
No, that's not the bare minimum, because that means you have to read what Tolkien wrote, and that's they're not going to do that.
I think Peter Jackson's done it a couple times. He.
Oh no, not the writer. I mean, the writers for Rings of Power. They didn't.
Oh
they didn't
no. So the writers for Rings of Power, they didn't look at anything.
They went on the Wikipedia page.
They're like, elves of a long time. They just got all the characters from the original Lord of the Rings movie, Isildur.
They just spread the Wikipedia page.
Gandalf,
man. That's what they did.
Sauron. They got all the greatest hits from the original movie, and let's do this prequel of thousands of years before, but everyone's still alive.
Well, yeah. Why not? Because that's what
humans
Wikipedia
don't live
page
that
said.
long. Oh,
well, they do now. Okay, it's canon.
And so Isildur and his father lived for hundreds of thousands of years now, like elves. Well, that's
it's canon. It's canon.
That's no, it's not.
What do you mean? No, it's not. It is. They made it canon.
Well, no, they said they're abbreviating, they're making all the important things from the Second Age happen over the space of a weekend instead of 1,000 years or multiple thousands of years, which is the problem with,
Are you excited for the Aragorn spinoff? where it goes over his life?
No, I'm actually excited for the Ice Road Trucker the Gimli Ice Road
You're not
Trucker
getting,
spinoff.
you're not getting an Ice Road Trucker Gimli.
I want to see an Ice Road Trucker Gimli spinoff.
What made
I would.
Gimli so good is the actor. They got to
Yeah.
find a new actor that's gonna fill Gimli shoes. How are you gonna? You
I
can't
don't-
fill Gimli shoes.
I don't. Yeah, like it's got to be John Rhys Davis back as an Ice Road Trucker Gimli. If it's not John Rhys Davis, I don't know. I don't know if it could be as good. But man, I would love to see that. I think that would be very funny.
That's not. There's no way that's gonna happen.
No, no.
Ice Road Gimli is not happening.
So basically, there was this short skit about what we're talking about right now, the this coming Lord of the Rings coming back, and one of the things from this skit was they mentioned Ice Road Trucker Gimli, and I'm like, this is the best idea I've ever heard of.
Realistically,
if you're
what do you
gonna
think
do
they're going to do though?
I mean,
I definitely can see them doing like a Aragorn movie.
adapting the Silmarillion's really hard. I think
They're not. They don't have the Silmarillion. They're not doing that.
I think it sounds like they're gonna have the same material as the Rings of Power. They can only go off the appendices of, the Lord of the Rings books. So that pretty much leaves us with the Second Age, or they could maybe do the Rise and Fall of Melkor. I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't have anything good to say about this, so I don't know. I'm just gonna keep talking, just saying bad things over and over again. It's gonna be bad.
It's just funny. You were so pumped for Rings of Power. You're like, I'm holding on. Like all the trailers had all these red flags. You're like, I'm holding on hope. I'm like,
It's
dude,
gonna be
this
good.
is gonna be terrible.
Well, I mean, it did come out, and I had hope. It's coming out, and then we watch it, and then it's like, well, this wasn't what I wanted.
And then you're crying inside. You're starting to become a bitter old man like me.
I'm only bitter towards like two things.
Star Wars and
No, not Star Wars. I'm not bitter again. It's Lord of the Rings new content. I'm bitter towards, and Nintendo.
Nintendo. Oh, I'm bitter toward Nintendo. Oh man, the Mandalorian started back up. This isn't, but man, like just the whole the third season. So much of it, they're talking about removing the mask.
Wait, the Mandalorian started?
Yeah, the Mandalorian's back. I don't know if we're actually gonna do an actual episode on it, unless there's like a big content lack of things to talk about. Because I don't know.
Wait, really? When? I haven't even seen a trailer for it.
I watched the first episode last night.
Did you watch a trailer for it?
Nope. I've never seen a trailer for the season 3.
What? How are they not marketing it?
No, they don't have to. It's Star Wars.
Oh. Well, I mean, I know about Star Wars, and I didn't even know about it, so there's got to be other people that didn't know about it. I knew it was coming. I didn't know when,
they're
though.
counting on everyone just turning on Disney Plus every single day to see it.
Oh, damn. Well, okay. I don't fit into that demographic.
I don't fit into that demographic. I knew it was on, though. But did you have any other news?
No, just really, sad about Middle Earth.
About Middle Earth?
We're going to the lower Earth now. We're going to the hollow Earth.
The Hollow Earth. That's Brian's favorite place.
That is. For all those out there, I believe the hollow Earth is a very real, and it makes sense. There is something going on down there with Godzilla. Anyway, wow, we've gone from Lord of the Rings to Star Wars to Godzilla. Anyway,
well, it's just it shows you that we're trying to avoid talking about our meat and potatoes for the day.
Our which is a Lord of the Rings reference. Meat and potatoes.
Oh,
David.
yes.
Cocaine bear, man.
Okay, you first. You give a rating for this. I picked this out a long time ago.
Yeah,
I thought it was out a long time ago. I thought it was some indie film, because I was like, what is this? I didn't know anything about it, and I was like,
yes.
Oh, and then I was looking to find it, why isn't it on streaming anywhere? It wasn't even out yet, 6 months ago when I originally heard about it.
So, Cocaine Bear, you are right. You added it, or you brought it up, or something. Probably 8 months ago now, something like that.
It's been a while. I was like, oh man, it sounds funny.
We knew about it.
Yeah, we knew about it, and it was on our radar. A trailer, there wasn't even a trailer out whenever I was.
I never saw. Again, another thing I never saw a trailer for.
Well, I did.
I was based off this picture that they just photoshopped into all the movie posters. This right here is all I knew. I saw a picture and I knew the name of the movie was Cocaine Bear. That was the extent of it. And then I knew the release date. That was
So
it.
I mean they did release a trailer, but it was months after I heard about the film. Like I don't know how I heard it. Must have just been scrolling through Facebook or something. Found this movie. There was no trailer for it at the time, and then I there was finally a trailer for it. When they released the trailer for it, it looked like it was going like for a comedy vibe, maybe a little bit of horror. And I don't think the movie nailed either one when it actually came out. So Brian,
What? You
so
don't?
so Brian, what would you rate Cocaine Bear?
Oh boy. Okay. Cocaine Bear is not good. Not good at all. So when I was watching this, you think about these movies where you're like, maybe it'll be like, we know it's going to be a bad movie, but is it going to be a funny movie? And then that might, give it some points back.
Mm-hmm.
You watch this movie, or maybe you'll have like an interesting moment, even though you know it's a bad movie. You're like, oh, that was kind of cool. It didn't have that either. Or maybe you'll think like, there'll be some like character development, or like, one of the actors will for some reason just be good at acting. No, there wasn't any of that either. Or maybe it's like the actors will be so bad that it's funny. It didn't have that either. Cocaine Bear, I'm going to give a 3 out of 10 here, David. I'm going to give good old Cocaine Bear a 3 out of 10. David, what do you think about Cocaine Bear? I don't know what your rating is yet either.
Yeah, probably a 4 out of 10. It was not fantastic for all those reasons you mentioned. So I did not research the story of Cocaine Bear before watching the film. I wanted to watch the film and like kind of figure out like what wasn't real on my own. And like so I was thinking to myself, like watching the film, like all these kills are super like not tastefully or respectfully done, but they also weren't the most over the top thing in the world either. So I was like, I'm guessing none of this is real. Like I'm guessing like none of this. Like I mean, like they showed like the actual news recording at the beginning of the film, like from Tom Brokaw or whoever that guy was. I remember seeing him as a kid on the news. So like that was like an actual news clip from back in the day. So like that was real. There was a cocaine bear that did eat cocaine. It overdosed and died. It didn't become invulnerable like it did in the movie. It wasn't like the star
Superman.
It wasn't the star in Super Mario Brothers, or it became invincible when it had some cocaine. There was, drugs thrown out of a plane. That did happen in real life, and then basically nothing else that happened
was
in the
true
movie
after
was true at all. And that's what's got me scratching my head the most about this film. When you're making up 99% of it, like you can go balls to the wall, like go crazy.
Wait, before you continue, does it bother you that this movie posed itself as based on a true story movie?
Yeah.
Like when you see that, it's like. It's kind of like, oh, this could be, this is something that happened in real life. This movie did not, like, none of the, like, besides that news clip that you just talked about, the rest of the movie's fake.
Beside the cocaine being thrown out of a plane,
yeah,
a bear having cocaine, and the news clip at the beginning, and the guy did die jumping out of his parachute failed.
Yeah.
Other
than that,
those things actually happened. And the rest of the movie is complete fabrication. Like that's like there's like different levels of based on a true story. This one was, I think, quoted inspired by real events, which means like something happened that was real, and then like everything else, like and then like when it's based on a true story, maybe then like it's closer. But even then, like they'll combine multiple people into one character to make it like more interesting or whatever. Because that's the problem. Like most people's lives are, kind of mundane. So like I guess that's probably why they have to cram multiple people into one person to make them seem more interesting and a lot of like these historical film. And this is I shouldn't say historic because this is the furthest thing away from historical film. It's neither a historical film, it's not a comedy, and it's not a
historical film.
And it's not a
We're gonna put that on the box. David says we're putting it on the movie poster.
Not an historical film.
Not a historical film. David.
Yeah.
But that's going on the movie poster. You're not you did it, man. That's the quote that they needed. Not a historical film.
Not an historical film. Oh man. So this was disappointing. Like I was saying, like this movie could have gone balls to the wall. They could have done crazier kills. They could have done like had the bear like doing martial arts. They could have like we didn't like there was surprisingly not much bear in this film for it being the star of the film. Like,
well, that's because the budget. They didn't have a budget for the bear.
I guess
the budget. The bear had the highest budget. The bear cost the most to get. Now. This bear's got to go to a different movie.
Hopefully,
he's going to somewhere else.
Got to keep that bear money coming on.
Pretty much the bear finds the cocaine after that it falls out of the airplane or thrown out of the airplane, and then after that, it kind of just runs around the forest
looking for more cocaine.
Then it just starts finding people, and then it just like kills them and runs away. And then no matter what they do to this bear, whether you like try to kill it or whatever, it's just like pure. It's just immune to everything. You cannot hurt this bear. It doesn't matter anymore.
And then the one time, like, you think Cocaine Bear's dead, it's like, some cocaine busts near its head, and it magically whisks it back to life.
It's the miracle drug. David, we gotta start doing that. If when we die, dude, just have somebody throw cocaine at us, and we should be okay.
Yeah, just
I'm back.
Just like pop some cocaine above our heads as we're like dying, and like, yeah, it was disappointing. Man, this movie could have been. They could have leaned so much harder into the comedy. Because
do you have a favorite character? I did.
No.
No? You didn't like anybody?
I mean, like, I was surprised to see Ray Liotta in it because he died. I guess they shot this like a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, that is true. Ray Liotta wasn't it?
My name is Chantix, and I'm going to help you get off Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray Liotta was he was in this movie. I forgot he is dead, but he was in it for a little bit, I guess. Other than that, he wasn't really in it very much.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge role.
The police guy. I don't know the names of anybody in this movie.
The police guy?
The guy that was on like the gazebo?
The guy with the dog? Yeah, the little like girly dog?
Yeah, that guy. He was my favorite. I don't know, he was like I don't know what he was doing. He was trying to like investigate what was going on, but like really bad at investigating.
Well, see, I wanted the bear to be my favorite character, but the bear was barely in the film.
The bear didn't do anything except run around and just like bite people, and then he would run away.
Yeah.
Or he would like hide and be like trying to be a scary bear. Or you try to put in some horror. My favorite part of this movie though was the ambulance chase. That was probably my favorite, where the bear just started running like 80 miles an hour towards the ambulance. They had the music in the background going, and then the bear just like jumps like 70 feet into like the ambulance.
Yeah.
Or tried to.
Well, this is where I was like, wow, this is like kind of over the top, but like they could have done something even more over the top, I think. And like this is when I was like, this isn't real. They
grounded it in reality. They want you. This is real, David. This is based on a true story.
Like whenever they started doing that, I was like, I bet none of this happened.
Are you sure? Wait, you're telling me when you saw a bear run 70 miles an hour after an ambulance chasing 3 people, that's where you're like, this probably didn't happen.
That's where I drew the. Well, that was like the weirdest thing because nothing was too out of the ordinary by that point. Bears climb trees. Bears do cocaine. Actually, the children do
exclusively. Those are two things they do.
So they had 2 children. Like I have a bone to pick. They had 2 children, like 2 10-year-olds, a guy and a girl. They skip school to go paint some waterfall, right? And they find the cocaine, and the kid's got a knife, and they get like a giant pile of cocaine on this knife. Like it's probably a couple tablespoons worth piled on top of this knife, and they just eat it off the top of this knife. I know they spit a bunch out, but the kids never act weird. They never like they go. They
But
never go nuts.
how much cocaine does it take to? Forgive me, I don't know my drug cocaine knowledge, but how much would it take to like kill you, or can it kill you?
It can definitely kill you. I mean, the real cocaine bear, Pablo Escobar, it died from a cocaine overdose. Like it like that much cocaine will definitely kill you.
Well, see, what I thought, because I also had a thought during that when it had that knife and they had all the cocaine on it. Every time I've seen like in movies when cocaine's in it, so this is where my knowledge is coming from. It would always be like, you know, just a little bit on like their hand, or like a little bit on a table, and they like snort this up. That looked like there was like a lot,
tablespoon.
yeah,
like,
a lot on that knife, and a 10-year-old just like ate it.
Yeah, they spit a bunch of it out, but they kept a lot in their mouth. Like it was weird that the kids didn't start acting weird or funny. None of that.
Well, because
happened.
you can't have kids on drugs in movie.
They literally had two kids eat giant tables.
Do
Like,
you think somebody watched this and they're like, you cannot have kids on cocaine in this movie? So they had to like refilm parts of it.
Or they just cut it out the parts where they started acting weird. Maybe. Who
Yeah,
knows?
they couldn't have it.
Who knows? I don't know. This movie's weird, man. Like
we're gonna have to talk to Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. Why is this movie bad?
Why did you even decide to like, this is what I'm gonna do? Like, was this a bored quarantine moment where you're like in quarantine and you're like, you know what? I could do this.
I could do a movie about a cocaine bear. The thing I thought was funny about the movie that had nothing to do with like the script or the acting or anything was that Carrie Russell, the mom, and then the park ranger, they're both in the show called The Americans. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen The Americans.
So The Americans is like, it's cool. It's like the 80s Cold War time, and Carrie Russell and her husband, they're Russian spies in America. Yeah. And in the show, the park ranger is their handler. So the fact that they were like interacting was just weird. It was weird and off-putting. It's weird when you see two actors, who've acted together in something else, acting in something different together. It's weird. It's like, wait. Like my brain's like, wait. This isn't the dynamic these characters are supposed to have.
Oh my gosh.
So like, it was weird. I don't know. I just the preview made it look like a comedy, and it was not funny. And
what about the bear kills? Some of the bear kills were kind of like a little bit gruesome.
They were gruesome.
Did they make you a little queasy? They didn't make me queasy. I've seen. No. I mean, I deal with way worse than that. But like, I could see where they could be like, "Ooh, that's kind of gross."
Well, I think the most traumatic kill in the entire movie is the first one, not the first one. Not the hiker couple, the second one, I guess. The park ranger guy, or the guy that the park ranger was into, because like he's like getting disemboweled in front of a kid. That was the only thing that was a little bit about the scene, just because like I was a child watching this.
I guess. I think the worst kill was when the guy was in the tree and he was hanging upside down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's the kill. That's not like the second kill.
Yeah, it is the first.
That's the second kill.
The first kill is the hiker's wife. The hiker. I guess his fiance.
When they're like, like in like a tall grass. That's the second kill in the movie.
Oh, that's the second cocaine bear kill. Really?
Dang. I thought that happened way later. Oh, maybe I'm just crazy.
Well, then after that, that's when the cocaine bear goes to the. I think the funniest kill was the park ranger shooting the guy through the head because she can't aim. That was the funniest kill.
That is true. That did happen as well. What about when the bear sat down on those dudes? The bear just like walked over and fell down, and then the guy shoots his hand off.
That was like the bear laying on the guy was like supposed to be a comedic moment.
What was the point of that?
It was dumb. Apparently they want us to believe that a bear's vagina is on its neck.
Interesting.
Oh, because the guy's like,
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say to that. That's what they were going for there.
Well, the bear and the guy are orientated the same way, right? Their heads are pointed the same way.
Yeah.
And the bear falls on him, and he's like, He's like, I think it's a girl bear. It's like, how do you know? Its vagina is on my ear. And I'm like, how did the bear's vagina get up by its neck? I'm like, because if they were like 69 position, sure. But I mean, they were both facing the same direction. So I mean, the bear's neck was on the guy's head probably. So how did the bear's vagina get on the bear's neck?
There's just a lot of questions.
So like it was supposed to be something funny, and it was like, what?
I just didn't understand, like, why did the bear this bear has historically, as we a historical film, as we know, this bear has just been running around killing people, and then as soon as it sees people, it decides like it's gonna sleep now. I don't know, man.
I mean,
that scene didn't make much sense.
It had tons of cocaine, I guess, and maybe it was tired because it did run the little girl to its cave, I guess, because it thought it was a cub. Like the one human in the movie, it thinks is like not a threat. It thinks it's a cub and takes it to her bear cave.
So the bear needed like a 2-minute sleep before it did more cocaine.
It did way more cocaine.
It just like ate one of those like bricks.
It ate a whole brick, and then it started like, man, there's so many things they could have done for this movie. They could have done like the Jungle Book Bare Necessities when it's like gobbling up the cocaine. It's like starts dancing. It could have done so, like they could have leaned way harder into the comedy. And
there's just like a scene in the movie where the bear just gets on 2 legs, starts dancing and singing,
and like it rubs its back.
It's just like eating cocaine.
They could have, like, I mean, like, if they want to go comedy, which I think they should have gone hard. Like, when they're going, all this stuff is fake anyway. It's jumping, doing all, like, make it sing and dance. Like, come on. Like, do the Bare Necessities song. Have it, like...
That would have been so funny if that bear just got up on 2 legs and just was, like, around, like, a pile of those bricks and just was picking them up singing Bare Necessities song. Speaking English,
yeah,
pure English.
It just starts like spraying cocaine on it. Like, just like, come on, like just going like what they could have done is they could have like smashed the cocaine, and we're like the cop and everyone's like got it. It's all up in the air and like getting high. So they see they think they see the bear do it. So like it's kind of explained in like everyone's like high.
Yeah.
Oh man, like there's so many. This movie is just missed opportunity after missed opportunity for comedic gold. and like if they wanted to go horror, like they could have like done way more kills. Like
there's a little bit of horror in the cabin when the bear was in the cabin. That was the most horror part of the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, the bear did not scare me at all.
Oh yeah,
it's a black bear. It's not like even in real life, I'd be like kind of a little scared of the bear, but like I don't like black bears aren't known to like. They even say at the beginning of the movie, don't they? It's like
the Wikipedia black bears. You stay in your ground, and
brown bears.
You submit.
Or some it was something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So even the movie's pointing out that black bears are dangerous, but they're not like. They're manageable if you have like 1v1 me versus a black bear, I'll probably lose, but like it's not if you have tools, if you have a gun or something, you're fine. If you shoot a grizzly, you're probably the grizzly's gonna be like,
grizzly's gonna mess you up. Yeah,
what you do to me?
It's like
what you do to me?
Yeah. Yeah,
they should have just changed the black bear into a grizzly bear. That's what I think they should have done. Grizzly bear is no joke. Grizzly bear is the real deal. Black bear is a little baby bear. So,
the cocaine bear was 175 pounds when they found it, the Pablo Escobar, and its stomach was filled to the brim with cocaine. It had stuffed itself so full of cocaine, it died of an overdose.
Yeah, but just think, 175 for the bear. That's not like that's not super crazy. Yeah. Like, grizzly bears are probably like over 1,000. I don't know, man. Black bear. Remove black bear.
And just how many of those 175 were cocaine?
Probably 5.
Maybe more. Maybe like 10 pounds. Like the reason the plane was coming down was because it couldn't handle all the cocaine it was carrying.
Well, I don't know how much cocaine like would weigh. How much does one of those bricks weigh?
I don't know. I don't know what the ratio is. But there was actually two guys on the plane in real life.
Yeah.
One made it, one didn't, and the plane was just really heavy from all the cocaine that was on it.
Cocaine trafficking. Do you think that still happens nowadays where they like fly drugs and drop them places?
I mean, probably. Who knows? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it still happens. Maybe they've like, since the bear ate all the cocaine, maybe they've changed some of their
They're safer now because they don't want bear in
their
their supply.
distribution.
The bear can't pay.
Sometimes they fill it full of balloons and make people carry it up their bums
I guess that's one way to
because
do it.
that's safe. Because if that bursts in you, you die of an overdose too. So.
Well, I mean, dealing with any drug, there's always a risk involved, I guess.
When
Man,
you're carrying balloons.
Yeah, cocaine bear, man. I don't know. It just wasn't good. There was not much to talk about. I don't know what like
The movie.
I'm running out of things here.
So the film. So I just wish they would have like covered some of the real things. They should have brought. They should have filmed the real cocaine bear. They should have like shown because the real cocaine bear is taxidermied in I think a Kentucky mall or something. Like they put different hats on it, and he's got like a chain around his neck that's got like
Wait,
cocaine
we can go
bear.
see cocaine
You
bear?
can go see cocaine bear. Cocaine bear is taxidermied in a place. They didn't cover any of cocaine bear's
We should go.
like
We should go see cocaine bear.
life after the film. They just had like Ray Liotta like died to the bear, and other people died to the bear, and it just like, oh, the lady was a nurse, so she like helped the guy who got shot. Like, I don't know, the people working for the drug guy. It was a very just mediocre, not great film.
Ray Liotta was in it though.
Ray Liotta was in it. Rest in peace. I'm so sad for you, Ray Liotta. This is your last film. I mean, maybe there's some other unreleased Ray Liotta film out there, but oh man, I'm sorry, Ray Liotta.
Your memory is a bit tarnished because of cocaine bear.
I'm so sorry, Ray Liotta.
Maybe Elizabeth Banks shouldn't direct anything anymore.
Yeah.
Or whoever wrote this movie. Maybe don't write this anymore. Write other things that you're passionate about.
Maybe they could write. I mean, do you think they weren't passionate about cocaine? Yeah, probably not.
I feel like you and me could write this script in like 30 minutes.
Wait for
Like not the whole script, but like have the whole thing like not to make it funny. That would take time. But like the script that they made for this movie, I think we could just like sit down and get like a good idea of what this would be in 30 minutes, and then we just have to fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not a complex story. Airplane. Cocaine. Bear eat cocaine. Bear run around in 3 different scenes. Kill people.
Like once everyone got to
movie
the
over.
park, it was a very small movie. Like it was just like out in the woods. It feels like they shot this in like a weekend.
It does feel like they shot it in a weekend. They might have actually shot it in a weekend.
Because I feel like when like the scene where when the mom and the park ranger first encounter the bear, like there's just so many scenes where Kerry Russell's like pressed against the tree, like looking around the tree. Like that scene felt like it was 10 minutes long. Like and that's the movie's 90 minutes.
We got a shot. We got the shot.
The movie's 90 minutes long, and there's so many scenes. Like, how long was she standing against that tree in like real life? Because this is a significant chunk of the movie.
She spent more time behind the tree than doing anything else.
Oh man,
Standing by the tree.
I don't know.
That's what happened. Yeah. So, man,
you know what the movie was missing? Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine back.
Oh my god. Were you saving that one? What was that for?
What?
Michael Caine bear. Michael Caine bear.
My cocaine bear. I mean,
Can you imagine
if
Michael Caine in this?
If Michael Caine was playing the cocaine bear and singing Bare Necessities, what a trip that
Bad
necessities. Michael Cocaine Bare Necessities.
No, he should just be the voice. He could be the voice of Cocaine Bear. Boom, we already fixed it.
Well, yeah, Michael Caine being Michael Caine Bear. Michael Caine Bear.
I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think this movie had the budget to afford Michael Caine.
They afforded Ray Liotta.
Yeah, you think Ray Liotta it costs more than Michael Caine?
No.
Okay. gonna say here for a second. Ray Liotta is like, we know who he is, but he's not Michael Caine.
He does Chantix commercials. I haven't seen Michael Caine on a Chantix commercial.
I wonder why. Probably because they can't afford him. or he would say no because he only wants to be in things that are probably going to be good.
He's probably retired from acting at this point.
What is he in his 80s?
He's not a spring chicken.
No, but he is a good actor.
He's a great actor.
He's one of the best. So yeah, Cocaine Bear, David. Yeah, man, that's Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear.
That is Cocaine Bear. I'm sorry, this is a shorter one this week, but I was expecting to have
watched Cocaine Bear.
Fortunately, we watched Cocaine Bear. I was hoping for a comedy, and I didn't get that. What were you hoping for, Brian? Were you hoping for a comedy?
Yeah, of course. I was hoping for. I mean, I thought it was gonna be like one of those movies where it's just like balls to the wall, crazy stuff going. I mean, I want like RRR level of like craziness, but like realistically, you're not getting that with American movies. So you need to. What?
Director of RRR, do Cocaine Bear right. Do it over the top. I want the Bollywood dance with the Cocaine Bear. Like
that would be cool, but that's not going to happen.
I want to see Cocaine Bear swing underneath a pitch and save its cub from a fire. Oh man, I want the adventures of Cocaine Bear.
You're not going to get the adventures of Cocaine Bear.
I want the RRR : Cocaine Bear. Rise, War, Revolt, Cocaine Bear.
That's not happening. I want what an American version of what RRR would look like for Cocaine Bear. That's what I'm looking forward to. When's that come out?
An American Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, no, like take the ideas of RRR and then have Hollywood try to make that, because Hollywood and the Indian film is different. So just try to copy what RRR is, but like make it into like Cocaine Bear with like an American twist. I don't know where I'm going with this. In my head, it makes sense. I don't know how to explain it though. Hopefully, anybody who's listening decode this.
Decode the unknown.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's Cocaine Bear. I didn't think this was gonna be a super long podcast. We didn't you watched this earlier this week. I watched it last night, and both of us were like before. I was pretty sure the podcast was gonna be kind of short on this one, just because I knew you weren't gonna like it. You said it was a movie. I texted you saying, yeah, it's a movie. And now we're here talking about it. And we both are like, yeah, it's a movie.
So when Brian and I try not to discuss things like in any detail in advance, but like when I watched RRR, I was like, this is wonderful. I think I said a word I don't usually say to Brian, like ever.
Yeah, and I called you out on it.
And Brian was like, oh, you hated it because you said words you don't usually say. I guess he thought I was being sarcastic. And no, I loved RRR. And then, so, usually when I don't like a movie, I'm like, yeah, it was a movie, I guess.
It happened.
That's basically code. Like, all right, we're like, I don't like it.
Code word for it's going to be a low score.
But like, other than like a basic feeling or like basic idea, like, just like one or two word initial thought, that's the only thing Brian and I really ever give each other before we discuss things on the show. Like, it's a movie, or like I'll I try not to get too into it, because I that's what the show's for. We want to have our first actual reactions and thoughts more deeply than just a basic gut reaction on the show. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's Cocaine Bear. I don't know. There's not much more to say about it.
Cocaine Bear.
Don't watch it. Do you recommend it?
Absolutely not. I mean, like, do not go to see it in the movie theater. Actually, something funny about Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear almost beat Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's second weekend run.
Shows how good Ant-Man is, huh? For those wondering, neither David or I are caught up with Marvel at this point anymore. When we said like we're not watching Marvel anymore, we haven't seen anything Marvel since. I don't think. Oh, maybe you have. I haven't.
What was the last thing I watched Marvel?
I watched Doctor Strange.
That was the last movie, yeah.
Or was it Thor? Whichever Thor or Doctor Strange, whichever one came out.
Thor was
last.
most recent. Thor was most recent.
Yeah. Okay. Then Thor was the last thing I watched Marvel related.
Yeah, I didn't watch a couple of the shows. I didn't watch Miss Marvel.
There's a show for. Oh God, man. They keep coming out. It's like, why am I not hearing about any of this stuff?
I don't know.
Because it's so bad that you have to like seek this. Disney doesn't do a good job marketing Disney Plus, I don't think. Because like I'll see when like Netflix has like a good show going on, and people will make memes about it and whatnot. I don't see anything for Disney Plus.
I don't know. I it's just hard to get excited about. Like at the beginning of the show, I was talking about Mandalorian, and I'm like, like. I think the whole cult thing where like they don't take their helmet off is stupid. Like, so at the beginning of episode 3, like just for like to keep the show going for a couple minutes longer, the armorer is making a hat for a child, and like they're making the child like say this like the oath or whatever not to remove the helmet. Like, I'm never gonna remove this helmet. I'm like, what about for when my head gets too big for the helmet because it's a child and a child does like, what about eating? What about
Well, I think that's like, it's more symbolic.
I'm like, no, like Din Djarin's has to go do some stupid ritual because he took his helmet off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that's like the thing. He's got to go do some stupid ritual on Mandalore.
You don't get to eat anymore.
I don't know.
You get an IV drip.
I don't know. I'm not digging the cult mentality thing on the Mandalorian. I'm like, I kind of want him to abandon that. It's not that cool, not that interesting. I don't know. I'm just kind of losing.
I think, is it still undecided if we're going to podcast on Mandalorian?
Yeah, I think if there's like a lull where there's nothing to talk about, like as a last resort. But I mean, I'd rather get into Deep Space Nine season 2 and other stuff that's good. Because man, speaking of stuff that's good, like I know I've been super hard on Picard and Discovery in the past. Oh, that was a news I didn't bring up. Discovery's ending at season 5. Yay! Thank God. Thank God that show's not going to go past the season 5. Oh, it's been so bad. But the Picard season 3 has been absolutely fantastic. So one of the great things about Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Brian, is the Dominion War. And a lot of people don't like the Dominion War, but it's a really cool plot that takes up like 4 of the seasons of Deep Space Nine. And Picard season 3, they're bringing back the Dominion War. So this has got me excited and kind of upset because like I love the Dominion War, but this is only a 10 episode. I think it's only a 10 episode run for Star Trek Picard. And on episode 3, we learn the Dominion is behind the shenanigans happening this season. So it's like, really? They're going to bring up a new Dominion War and wrap it up in 7 episodes? This took 4 seasons that are 20-something episodes long initially to take care of. So I'm like, seems like they're doing it too fast, but I like the Dominion a lot. That opens up possibilities for them to go to Deep Space Nine. Possibly they could maybe go to the Gamma Quadrant if if it is the Dominion. I mean, they could just stay in the Alpha Quadrant the whole time, but hopefully we'll see some cool DS9 stuff in the show. So I'm actually really excited for the future of Picard season 3. But it's the last season of Star Trek Picard.
So you only got 9 episodes left?
No, I've only got like 7 episodes left.
Well, boy.
Oh boy, they're doing the Dominion.
Boy. Yeah, man. Well,
they even referenced Odo.
Oh boy.
But Rene Auberginois has passed away. He's dead.
They can use deepfakes.
They can use deepfakes or just recast him. And he's like, oh yeah, I figured out how to make a face now.
They could do that too.
They just have a regular looking guy say, oh, I'm Odo. Like, this is what I look
I'm
like
Odo.
now. This is what I look like now. Like, it's super easy to get around. Rene Auberginois passing away. Unfortunately. I mean, I could just cast someone else who kind of looks like him. Who knows? But I don't know.
Well, he had a lot of stuff on his face.
Just some, yeah, he had a lot of prosthetics. Kind of like Gimli. Gimli hated his prosthetics.
Good old Gimli. You know, we're ending with We started with Gimli. We're ending with Gimli.
Gimli, Ice Road Trucker, Rock and Stone, and Ice, and Trucks.
Yes. Yes. Rock and Stone.
Rock and
Rock and
Stone. All right.
Email David at synthaholics@yahoo.com.
Yes,
I
please.
said my piece.
Please do. Thank you all for listening. Sorry this was a short, underwhelming episode with Yield Cocaine Bear. If you
Not only are you underwhelmed, we are also underwhelmed.
if you if you want to watch Cocaine Bear, when it comes to some free streaming service you're already signed up for, you know, it's
No, I wouldn't even recommend it then. Don't watch it.
And you have 90 minutes that you really want to waste. If you want
to get away from your responsibilities.
If you want to throw away 90 minutes of your life, go ahead.
This is the one to do it.
Go ahead. It's 90 minutes gone. And it's just like, where did it go?
Well, no, it doesn't feel like that because the movie feels like it's 5 hours.
Yes, it's like Venom.
Good old Venom.
It's like Venom 2, the movie that's also 90 minutes long, and it feels like hours of your life have been sucked away, even though it's only 90 minutes. It's not even 2 hours, but darn, it feels like
what could you do?
It feels like many, many hours. So, well,
until next time.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll have something hopefully more exciting next time.
I don't know what's next, but we'll find. Actually, surprise. Actually, I do know what's next. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, sounds good. Until next time. Do go visit the Cocaine Bear. That would be a more efficient use of your time. Going to see actual Cocaine Bear. See the real thing. Don't fall.
We should do that. Let's go vlog and go see Cocaine Bear.
We should go see Cocaine Bear. I think that'd be fun. Get a picture of us next to the real Cocaine Bear. I would like that. Maybe that would be funny. Maybe one day in the future we can vlog to Cocaine Bear. Man, vlog
Cocaine Bear. Oh boy. Alrighty.
Right. Till next time, guys. Live long and prosper, and do some coke, or don't. Whatever.
Your choice. Your life.
Your life. We at Synthaholics do not endorse drug use.